afternoon, everyone. So my name is Omolara Uwemedimo. This is Idara. And
my name's Tolani.
As a Black woman, daughter of Nigerian immigrants, pediatrician, mother, entrepreneur, I'm so happy and so proud that of my most recent role, which is proud member of Middle Church. And I have to say it is extremely daunting. I'm a high introvert to even put this into words and stand up here, but I know my words will pale in comparison to what Middle has given to me and my girls. I'll try, though. There's a story that came to mind when I was asked, especially during this month as we celebrate the power of women. In 2020, after the murder of George Floyd, I think we all saw that there was a huge racial reckoning, which included churches, which included how they were talking about Black lives, especially those that had Black congregants who were deeply in pain. I had not been in attendance at my prior church that month, but when we returned 2 weeks later, the pastor stated that he wanted to apologize for a sermon last week where he stated he wasn't in support of Black Lives Matter. He wanted to clarify to the church, which was over 50% Black, that he believed in the support and justice for Black lives, but denounced the Black Lives Matter group because they were a woman-led group and were supporting the elevation of women, which is against biblical principles. So I took my woman self and I took my woman-to-be daughters and left in the middle of the sermon. And fortunately, that led me to the revelation that a diverse church does not equal an inclusive and justice-centered one. That led me on a quest to find a new church home, a church who valued the intelligence, the leadership, and the agency of women, especially Black women, a church that included all of our voices, a church that recognized our struggles, and not only supported our fight for justice, but acted on it. So given that laundry list, I figured that I would be without a church home for quite some time. And I was at a point where I even started to wonder, is this even along the lines of what churches believe anymore? Then I came across womanism. I came across understanding that what was on the page through womanism, it's actually what we center what's not on the page, whose voices have not been heard. And I started down this rabbit hole, which included a YouTube video showcasing a number of pastors in this womanism movement, and I started Googling each name. And it just so happened one of them was in New York, and her name was Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis. So I went back to Google to find out where, and given the stay-at-home orders, I saw that they had a YouTube channel, and after one worship service that I watched, I was floored. I was moved to tears because the place that I had imagined, that I had wanted, actually existed. Middle brought my daughters and I closer together. The sermons definitely pushed me to have important conversations about God. And the kids' enrichment with Miss Alicia really has been beautiful, and the experiences of them learning about the dry bones, right? The racism and sexism and gender discrimination, but then learning about the importance of inclusivity, love, tolerance, and liberation at the same time. It would be 2 years until my daughters and I would actually step into a space and not only meet Reverend Jackie, but then be amazed and wowed by the Middle team, by Natalie and Darren and Amanda, and most recently, Mira. So Middle has allowed me to find my grounding again in God with the remembering of who God is and how much she loves us all. If you have been someone who's been turned off by church or the hate, divisiveness, and oppression that has existed in past experiences, I ask you to experience Middle. I believe that our most important work is trying to rebuild what humanity can look like, and I thank Middle for helping me to do this with my daughters. That's my story, and I just love my daughters to quickly share what they wanted to about Middle.
Okay.
Cover the middle.
So, Middle is a loving, compassionate place where people get together to celebrate one another. There is no such thing as too much or too little. Middle always has enough for everyone. The people here are not just here to pray for change, they are here to make it happen. Middle is active. Middle is not just a place you go to for sermons, worship, and Bible study. Instead, it's also a safe place, a second home. Middle helps people who are in need of essential things like shelter, food, and clothes to wear. The church sermons we used to go to every Sunday talked about gender norms and oppression towards women. They said genders could not do different things. They said being a part of the LGBTQ community was wrong and unholy. That made us feel very sad, so we left. Then my mom found Middle and we stayed here. The end. Why I think you should join Middle Church is that they don't judge who you are. Another reason is the people here really help you feel the Spirit of the Lord. My final reason you should join the Middle family is because they have hymns that really make you want to dance.
So if you'd like to join the movement, please do so. Go to middlechurch.org/join, and please go to the QR code, which is usually right here, I think, or you can visit middlechurch.org, donate, or Venmo at Middle Collegiate Church. We hope you consider joining us. Thank you.